think we are on. Alright. Hey guys, what is up? It is Elliot, also known as Escyphe. I'm here to do a video about the Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite gameplay video that leaked this morning. I woke up and it was there, which is really cool because yesterday we got the story mode trailer, which got mixed reception, but from what I'm seeing on Twitter and Reddit, the reception for this gameplay is looking a lot better, and I sort of agree. I think it looks really cool. It's only about 5 minutes long, but there's actually a lot going on here, and I want to give you my perspective, what I think, maybe show you something that you might have missed. I've watched the video a lot of times already today. I mean, I don't have work today. I don't really have anything to do. So, here we go. I guess we'll just start by playing the video and I'll tell you what I think. So, it starts off and we got Hawkeye versus Thor. Um, Hawkeye starts off by doing triple arrow in the air. He had that move in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and then he does the vertical triple arrow, another move he had. So right off the bat, we're seeing that he has a lot of stuff that he has pretty much the same moveset that he had in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and I think he was a really well-designed character in that game. Not super broken, but he had a lot of really cool zoning tools, and it's good to see that he's back. Okay. And off the bat, we go into his new level 3, which actually looks cool as shit. It's not the Ant-Man one from Marvel 3. It has the same startup of the animation, but it goes into an entirely new animation in general, and it's really cool. Like, it has the arrow right up in Thor's face, and then it explodes. That looks really cool to me. So because we don't see Ant-Man in this Super, maybe that means we'll see him in some form in the game itself, especially since he's a major player in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He has his own movie that's getting a sequel, and he was one of the more popular characters in Captain America: Civil War. He had some of the best scenes, best dialogue for sure. Okay, what's next? Okay, Slide. He had that move in Marvel 3. It didn't OTG though, but we'll be getting more into OTGs later because the OTG system seems to be revamped entirely, going more back to the traditional OTG style of older Marvel games, where any move could OTG. So Skullgirls does that as well, where any move can OTG. Okay. Okay. Then Hawkeye does this new move where he says laser, and he shoots an arrow on the ground, and then it shoots a, a laser beam upward. He does. We see that a few times in the trailer, and at one point he actually combos off of it. We'll get to that later. Okay. Thor uses Thor uses the Time Stone power. Um, at this point in the trailer, you see him do that little green dash. So what that is a special move that the player receives by choosing to use the Time Stone. Every it looks like every stone you pick has its own different powers. The Time Stone, you get a dash that you can use in the air or on the ground. Um, can't really say for sure how safe it is, or if you can cancel into it from moves. So say you get in their face and you LMH, and then the Time Stone power. But it seems like a pretty cool way to get in their face, and Thor uses it right here to get through the projectiles. Here, we'll see it again. He gets hit by projectiles. There it just goes through the projectile entirely, so it looks like it has some projectile invincibility. And then he goes right into his grab super, which seems to reuse the same animation from Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. New dialogue though, so that's cool. Okay, so what Hulk did right there was he used the Space Stone power, and there's a few times in the trailer where characters use it, um, and it reminds me a lot of Magneto's attack in Marvel 3, where he could use repulsion, attraction, or gravitation. So far, the Space Stone, it seems you can only use attraction that pulls the opponent inward towards you, um, which is really cool. It seems to have, it's like, that seems to be very useful. It reminds me a lot of Seth's Tandon engine in Street Fighter 4, um, which was a really good move, and it was that move was actually nerfed heavily in Ultra Street Fighter 4, where you couldn't actually cancel into it anymore. Uh, but so Hulk uses the Space Stone power, and he pulls Thor in, and then he go, but then so after that, Thor gets to attack him. So that makes me think that the pulling part of the Space Stone power is not safe or negative, um, which means it's useful in certain situations, but you can't like spam it. You can't just use it all the time. And Thor goes into sweep into Thor does sweep, which is push blocked by um, Hulk, and then he gamma crushes, or he does gamma charge right into Thor as he's doing the light version of Thunder Spark, or whatever that move is called. I don't know. And he can actually combo off of it. So he does. It's a counter hit. Um, we know in a lot of video games, in a lot of fighting games, counter hits have special properties, and so when Gamma Charge is a counter hit here in this video, Thor like pops up. Here we'll see it again. He like pops up and then is put on the ground, and Hulk gets to pick him up with crouching light kick. Um, I don't know I don't think we know about the button layout for the game quite yet. So we don't. I know Maximilian did a video and he suggested that the button scheme, um, kind of went back to light kick, heavy kick, light punch, and heavy punch. That's different from, say, um, the Marvel 3 button layout where it was light, medium, heavy, and special was like the universal launcher. So we don't know exactly what the button layout is, and we probably have to wait till E3, maybe, um, maybe. So Hulk hits him with crouching light kick and pops him up with um, this move where he like lifts him up. That's S in Marvel 3, but there might not be an S button here, as I was saying. So he launches him up, gets him with a combo. Now right here it says auto combo. Now we don't quite know what that means quite yet, but it might be a system like it could be one of a few things. So the first idea is that it's in like Hulk is playing in simple mode. Um, Almost all of the Marvel games had some sort of simple mode where controls were simplified, where you could just kind of mash buttons and get combos. So because it looked kind of cool and it was really nice for beginners to play with. Um, and it says aerial rave there because it says that every time you do an air combo. Um, it could also be the Persona 4 Arena style of auto combo, where you just mash the one button, you mash light. Um, in Persona, it's A, so you have four buttons A, B, C, and D. You just mash A, and you get a like 5 or 6 hit combo, and it automatically ends in a super. Um, this system was cool because it allowed for newer players to do higher damage than they would normally and actually get them to do super meter, but it wasn't optimized. It's not optimized at all. uh, um, it's usually like very meter negative, and like the damage is so low compared to optimized stuff, so you don't like so at high level play auto combos generally never mattered in Persona 4 Arena. And I feel like if it's the same way in this game, it'll be the same. You'll have auto combos, but they'll have very little use overall. Okay, so Hulk gets Hulk gets him with stand H right there, and it does a wall bounce. In Marvel 3, it did a ground bounce, so that's a weird change, but it's it's the same idea in general, where you get to extend combos after hitting the opponent with that move. So yeah, that's a new move Hulk got. Was that sweep right there was like a new animation. Hulk didn't have that before, um, and it puts Thor on the ground, and Hulk gets to pick him up again. Um, Something I thought that I haven't seen anyone talk about like yet was that when you're put on the ground, uh, maybe you are given a chance to tech the ground, and you can like I mean melee is way different than traditional fighting games, but in melee, when you hit the ground, you're given the option to tech, and you can take one of three tech options. There's tech in place, tech to the left, or tech to the right. Um, and I'm thinking there might be a system like that here to avoid getting hit by off the ground combos like the one Hulk just hit here. So um, there's limitation in melee. There's limitations where if you press L or R within 40 frames of hitting the ground already, then if you press L when you hit the ground, it won't do anything. So, um, oh, hey Maniac Mega Man, what's up? Hey, thanks for stopping by. So, um, what were we talking about? Melee teching. Yeah, like I'm a melee player, so I know things that Marvel players might not know about in terms of like teching and stuff. So I think that'd be a pretty cool system to where like it would add another level of mix-ups to where you can put the opponent on the ground, and if they tech, if they think they're going to be put on the ground, then they tech. But if you're in the air and you do like a few extra hits and then put them on the ground, then they won't be able to. Then like the timing of which they have to tech is completely off, and they don't get the ability to tech, and so you're able to like hit him on the ground and pop him up again and do even more damage. Um, so that'd be a pretty cool way to mix up the way you do damage instead of like the Marvel 3 way where you basically get a guaranteed 100% combo every time you land a decent confirm. Uh, Hulk does another auto combo there. It doesn't end in a super, but it puts him back on the ground. So here we have Strider. Out of all the characters shown in this trailer, I think Strider actually looks, his model specifically and animations actually look the coolest. I think they're the most well done, and I hope the other characters get the treatment, get the quality that Strider got here in his model, because I think he looks really cool. Maybe it's just the lighting on this stage, because this stage actually looks cool as shit also. But so like, check out like the way he moves. Obviously, he has all the same moves as he did in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Okay. Check out that whiff punish. So Strider jumps back and Hulk does a gamma charge right in his face. But the jump back was just placed so perfectly that Strider gets whatever follow-up combo he wants. Um, Hulk may have been able to cancel that gamma charge on whiff into Gamma Crush, the meteor super, and and if so, then it totally would have blown up Strider, unless Strider continued to block. That's just the kind of mix-up you saw a lot in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and it's cool to see that kind of thing come back in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Ouroboros. Okay, look at that. Ouroboros costs 1 bar. In Marvel 3, it costs 3. And, so, like, the orbs move way slower than they did in, in Marvel 3 though, so it's a lot more similar to the Marvel 2 Ouroboros, which is cool. That gives Strider some extra depth into like how he can use Ouroboros, because in Marvel 3 when he used Ouroboros, that was a defining moment of the match when Strider activated Ouroboros, because it's like, can you block or can you not block, because it's almost impossible to block. This looks a lot easier to block, but he can use it way more often because it only costs 1 meter. So he's going to be a pressure monster for sure. Okay, here we go with Ultron. This is the first part of the video that has Ultron, who's the only new character shown. Um, at the start, he uses the space gem power, and it pulls Hulk in, right, like we've seen before. And so okay, so, all right. there's a lot going. There's a lot that happens in this very small, like couple seconds of video. So let's break it down here. Hulk, okay, Ultron pulls him in. Hulk jumps forward and tags in. So like here's this little activation effect. He then tags in Chris. So Hulk's gone. Chris comes in and he uses the Power Stone power. This we see a few characters use this in the video, and so what the Power Stone power does is it seems to be this attack that has like slow startup, um, but you can combo into it and it gives you a wall bounce. So like watch how Ultron gets knocked off the wall and Chris is able to pick him up. So there's a few other characters that use the Power Stone power in the video, and we'll see that later. Um, from what I understand, using the Infinity Stone powers doesn't have a cost. It just like you can use it whenever you want. Obviously, I think they're going to be balanced to a point where you can't just spam them. um, and I feel like one or two are going to be way better than the rest um, as the metagame develops. But we'll have to wait and see till the game comes out for that. So Chris does an aerial combo into a ground bounce and is able to pick him up. That's something very similar to what we're used to seeing in Marvel 3. Ultron has an 8-way air dash and a double jump. So that makes me think he's going to be a good character. Um, Overall, most characters with 8-way air dashes ended up being good because they can do like high-low mix-ups and stuff. Characters like Magneto, Doom, Viper, you know how it is. Okay. Ultron, he has, I don't know, I think he's really cool looking. I'm a big fan of Ultron in the comics and in Avengers Age of Ultron. I think he's a really cool character. His design is obviously based on the comic book version of Ultron rather than the movie version. I bet we'll see a skin though. I bet we'll see an Ultron skin that looked like his movie version for sure, and I'm definitely gonna play the shit out of that one. He has this like red claw effect whenever he does any of his moves, and just like it looks really cool in motion. I'm really glad to see Ultron looking so cool in this game. Okay. There's a lot going on here too. So this right here, the tag system, is what I think replaces the assist system in Marvel, in like from previous Marvel games, from Marvel 2 and 3. So Ultron comes in, he's doing his dive attack. We see him use the dive attack a few times in the video, and he has different versions. So he uses the dive attack, and it hits. So it hits Chris, but at this point, the player is completely controlling Strider. Look at this. So even during the cinematic state, when Ultron is doing the move and grabbing Chris, the player is completely controlling Strider. The Strider player chooses to use the H version of his little dash move, which is an odd choice because I bet you'd be able to follow up this Ultron grab. But at the time, Strider doesn't get any sort of follow up. So, but I bet you could be able to get one if you chose to do the right type of follow up. So, what that means is, you'll be able to do a move with your point character and immediately tag in your next character. So, while there are no assists in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, um, this system acts very similar to assists in previous Marvel games. So say you're playing Mega Man X and you do your little beam cannon. You immediately call in someone else. You immediately call in the second character, and now the beam is coming at the opponent, and you're able to move around any way you want. That sounds just like an assist, right? That sounds very similar to a beam assist in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And beam assists are good because you could do left, right, high, low mix-ups as the opponent's blocking them. So that kind of thing we kind of figured out from the very first trailer from 5 months ago. But it looks like this video sort of affirms that belief. So let's see what's next. Push block still says advancing guard. That's cool. Yeah. Okay, Ultron does the grab attack, the dive grab attack again. That's gonna be the new killer at the beginning for sure. People aren't gonna know what to do. It's probably really unsafe on block though. Probably is. So Ultron, it looked like it had a different follow-up from the very first one he did. So we're at 331. Let's see if I can find the other dive attack he did. So this one, he like dives at him and like slaps him and then like punches him upward. So see if I can find the other one. And another. So here he does it. There he's doing the dive attack. Okay, no, it's the same one. Okay, never mind. Sorry, guys. It's the same attack. Yeah. But he does get that OTG follow-up. Uh, but if that teching system that I was talking about is in place here, then then maybe Chris would be able to escape the combo entirely, and he wouldn't have to die. But we don't know that for sure. We'll have to wait for some more videos and see what's up. So here we see KO. It's just a really, really generic KO screen with a stupid gradient. The entire HUD is just really really silly. OTGs look similar to MvC2. You're right, they do. You can pick them up with any attack, unlike MvC3 where you had to use specific attacks. Back to Strider vs. Chris. There's the Power Stone, and it's a counter hit. I don't know if there's any special properties on counter hit on the Infinity Stone attacks, because not all of them are attacks anyway. The Time Stone is a dash. But you still get the wall bounce, so he gets to pick him up. Active switch, that's something new. But I think that's just what it says when you tag in your character mid-combo, a la Street Fighter X Tekken. So Gamma Crush, same animation from Marvel 3. Looks like Street Fighter X Tekken with the ground bounce. Yeah, this game has had a lot of people have been calling it similar to SFXT because it's the 2v2 system and the tag system. So there will be similarities. But obviously, like the way you move around with like A-way air dashes and stuff, that wasn't in SFXT or anything like that. This is definitely Marvel vs. Capcom. It's not Street Fighter X Tekken. Gamma Crush seems to be like it does a lot of damage. Obviously, it was one of the more damaging level 1 supers in Marvel 3, and it seems to do a lot of damage here. But it just like the way the sound effects work, I don't know. It seems less impactful, and I hope it's changed by the time the game comes out. Power Stone. Chris just whiffs the Power Stone move for no reason. There's absolutely no reason for him to do that really close range move at this range. I don't know. You only gain meter. You only gain Infinity Stone meter by getting hit, like the Ultra meter in Street Fighter 4, and the meter itself even looks exactly like the HUD from Street Fighter 4 as well. It's even got the line in the middle that uh, it's even got the line in the middle that determines when you're able to activate the Infinity Stone's power, which we'll get to later in the video. How long before Infinites, you think? Um, Probably the first day it comes out. We'll probably find something, but um, hopefully there'll be a bit more effort into like patching stuff than we ever got in Marvel 3, and I think there will be. I think that since Marvel as like a franchise, as a property, is way more popular than it's ever been, and with Marvel having so much to do with the development of this game, I think they're gonna really work on like making it as balanced as possible. So let's continue. Okay, Chris does the Power Stone attack again. It does a wall bounce as we've seen. 1, 2, 3. He had that 3 punch in Marvel 3 as well, and he active switches right into Hulk, who does a command grab mix up. He just gets in his face and does this, and he gets to combo off it, which is cool. So, and Stand H does a wall bounce again instead of a ground bounce like it used to. Auto combo, but he drops it. I don't know why that would be dropped. Maybe auto combos have less hits. Like maybe auto combo attacks put you in less hit stun than other games, but it might just be the fact that he did the command grab and then did the wall bounce stand H. That might have like really reduced the hits. It really must have scaled the hit stun down to where he couldn't do a multi-hit aerial combo. We saw that in Marvel 3 a lot. Ultron has this move. Okay, Ultron has these moves where he calls in his drones. I mean, he's Ultron. He has drones. That's like his thing. It'd be really weird if he didn't have them. Uh, so he does that in the air. He calls one of his drones in the air, which is like, that's gonna be no one's ever gonna do that in this game when it comes out. But it's still a possibility. You can still do it, and it looks like it doesn't really do anything. But it's cool to see that he actually has the ability to do it in the air, and maybe it'll have some utility. But we don't know. Now this part of the video is the first time where we see a character activate their Infinity Stone power. And so Ultron's got Space Stone, um, and he activates Infinity Storm. So this puts Hulk in this little box here, this little box, and I saw some people on Reddit talking about this, and uh, the general consensus seems to be that it's not going to stop Hulk from moving around at all. So you can still move around as normal, but if he's stuck in a combo, um, then it keeps him from being pushed back and making it easier to do combos. And there will definitely be combos that are exclusive to the Infinity Stone. So he switches into Strider here and does this combo. See how he's not getting pushed back when Strider's hitting him? He's stuck in the little box. So there's not gonna be like an infinite combo because the box will go away eventually, but it's gonna be like an infinite. You'll be able to do combos like infinite combos, and so that's gonna be how you really activate your damage in this game for sure by using the Infinity Stone's power. It'll be kind of like X Factor, to where when you activate X Factor, it really changes the tide of the match, and you're able to do much bigger damage than you were before. Hopefully a little bit more balanced. Strider has this new super that looks cool as shit, and he's able to do it in the air. He didn't really have. Did he have? No, he didn't have an air super in Marvel 3. So that's cool that he's able to get damage from the air in a way that he wasn't before, because the super where he like called all the animals, that had like, I don't know, the damage was so low and it just had really little utility. So if that is replaced as his like level 1, I'm a fan. It looks like they reduced damage. I agree, damage does look reduced, but you have 2 characters instead of 3, so they got like it's just gotta be reduced. You know what I mean? Oh, there's the cross up with the air dash, the classic. Okay, Ultra. Okay, here's another like little dash grab thing that Ultron does, and it looks like he launches him up, and then he like dashes upward and grabs. So it's like the opposite of the dive grab. It goes up instead of down. Um, Maybe that's like Ultron's thing. Maybe he's got drones and he's got dives. Maybe that's his entire game plan, but we'll have to see. And he gets to follow this up after an OTG, so he does crouching light kick into crouching heavy kick, so that's sweep right there. And then he calls a drone. The drone calling will be kind of like calling an assist, but whenever he calls a drone, he like stands there for a second and like pumps his fists, and during that time he's entirely vulnerable, so you can't just do it anytime. Aerial rave. He gets an air throw, but no combo. See like that where he just pumped his fist a little bit to call the drone, and then the drone shoots a beam. So just like just like calling the Doom beam assist. By the way, rest in peace, Doom. He will probably not be in this game. That's probably the saddest thing to think about. I really hope that out of the 6 DLC characters, one is Sigma, but I really hope Wolverine, Sentinel, Doom, and Magneto are all. There are 4 of them. Probably not though. There's another dive. He does another dive, but it doesn't go into the little grab animation. It just does a ground bounce, so he's able to launch him again. And then he does the anti-air dive in a combo, but he's not able to pick up after that. So it looks like there's a limit on how many OTGs you can get in a combo, and that's good. That's like the anti-infinite system in play. So he called the same beam drone. Um, he called the same beam drone here, but it's done. But it's in the air, so he can call it in the air. And I guess doing that, he can just cover the aerial space, so the opponent can't jump. Or if they jump, they'd be stuck in block. How many characters on release? Um, I mean, no one knows for sure. I'd say somewhere between 35 and 45. And we have 6 DLC confirmed, and there'll probably be more after that. There'll probably be a Street Fighter V-esque DLC model where they release characters every year in seasons. Um, but I mean, like you could quote me on that, but I might be entirely wrong. Seems good. Seems good. It looked like that drone attack wasn't a beam, but like a dash at you. I don't know if that's like a grab thing that like locks you in place so Ultron can go at you and get a combo. That'd be cool though. Seems to have a lot of use for the drones. Okay, now Thor does something really cool. He Kara cancels his launcher into the mighty throw. so Kara cancel is something where you like cancel the startup on the move before the active frames activate. So he does his launcher, but before the hit part happens, he Kara cancels it into the throw, and since he's right next to Ultron, it works. The throw is an unblockable attack, obviously, and you could probably pick up off on that, but it kills Ultron in the video, so we don't get to see. Ready, fight! So we're back. Ultron at the beginning of the match calls the beam drone, and he does the time stone power to get in Chun-Li's face. Um, Classic beam mix-up. From that range, there's no way the time stone power could get behind Chun-Li, so you can't do like the Virgil teleports or anything like that. I hope Virgil's in this game though. We'll have to see them. So there's the dive again, the Ultron dive that does the ground bounce. And he does that aerial grab, um, and he gets the combo off of it before they hit the ground. So that's gonna lead to some really cool combos, really cool looking combos. Just scene transitions to Thor doing his air grab and doesn't get a follow up, but he gets this. Okay, okay, okay. This is the part that people are really talking about on Reddit. So it says counter switch. So what in the video this seems to be is Ultron uses, I believe, 2 meters. So see how his meter goes from 2 to 0. Thor hits him with mighty whatever. I don't know what it's called. Mighty strike. I don't know. So Thor hits Ultron with mighty strike, and Ultron uses 2 meters to do a counter switch. So during this counter switch, Chris comes in on the other side, but Ultron is still being comboed. So Thor actually hits Ultron after the counter switch is performed, so there's risk involved. Thor gets to come in, and he can keep hitting Ultron, but Chris comes in and interrupts the combo that Thor does. So what that means is Chris is going to, uh, so whenever you do a counter switch, there's going to be that risk where the opponent might get a happy birthday on you, uh, if you don't properly interrupt the combo that the opponent's doing. So there's like it costs 2 meters and there's risk. So that's not something that I think it's going to be something that matters in every game, but it's not something that's just get out of jail free. Counter to an infinite combo. I don't know about that. I think it's more of something like it's a counter to, like, say you're in a combo and you're about to die. Oh, now I've got 2 meters, and now I have my character. Now I still have my point character. Because when you have 2 characters, um, obviously you're in a way better situation than when you have just one, because you're able to do the switch off and the tag combos, and the assist type setups. Suck it. Looks like he has some of the same dialogue from Marvel 3. That's okay, because his dialogue was really funny. Chris uses Time Stone here, and it gets on the other side of Thor, so we know it goes through the opponent instead of just like stops right in front of them. And then Thor does Power Stone, does a wall bounce. Now that is a cool combo. I don't think he could do a combo like that in Marvel 3, but he does Mighty Strike, and then gets to follow. Like then he could follow it up, and then he puts him on the ground. Time Storm. Okay, Thor does command grab super, but Chris just jumps out of it, because when you jump, you're put in the air, and when you're airborne, you can't get grabbed. You can't get grabbed on the ground anyway. You can obviously get thrown. You can obviously get air thrown if you're in the air. That's the only time you can get air thrown. So it's not quite obvious. It's not quite obvious what the this time power does, but it looks like Chris is able to do the Time Stone dash way more often than he was able to before. So because he does it 3 times in a row. 3 is like the magic number. Because like in Marvel 3, Spencer could do 3 grapples before he had to hit the ground, and Spider-Man could do 3 web swings before he hit the ground. And I think it'll be the same here. You can do 3 of the Time Stone air dashes before hitting the ground. And obviously you can do it on the ground as well. It looks like his chain combos are like way faster. You're able to like chain combos way faster when this Time Stone ability is activated. But that's the only, I think that's the only time in the video that we get to see it like actually work. We only get to see one more. We get to see Chun-Li use the Power Stone power. Let's do this. That's obviously the same as it was in Marvel 3. You just get hit and you get a launcher and you could follow it up. So Time Stone. Power Stone. Okay, this is something I just noticed actually, but like watch Chun-Li and like she starts like glowing at some point. Like look at that. So she does the Power Stone, it does nothing, and then she starts glowing. So I'm not sure what that means, but I think it might be similar to in Ultimate or Wars Capcom 3. If she held down long enough, she started glowing and was able to do the EX version of Spinning Bird Kick. It might be the same here, but I don't know. Because she does a crouching chain, and she's still glowing, and then she does the Power Stone. And if she combos it into the Power Stone attack, which does a wall bounce. No telling what that does. I think it might just increase damage. It's like, you know, that makes sense. It's the Power Stone, you know, increases damage. Yeah. Chun-Li, she looks like Chun-Li. She looks the same. She's got all her attacks. She's got that cool. Okay, there she does EX Spinning Bird Kick. So I think I was right. If you hold down long enough, you're able to do EX Spinning Bird Kick just like in Ultimate. Thor goes for the command grab, but Ultron jumps out of it. Oh, sucks when your mix-ups don't work. Okay, here we see Ultron's level 1. It's just a beam super. Yeah. Hulk has a bunch of new normals. They look cool. Very, very intimidating, very strong looking, very powerful. Gamma Tsunami! I don't think that was a DHC. I think that's just some video editing. Some video editing where it changed scenes. Because, like, it looked like... it definitely wasn't DHC because Hawkeye's getting hit now. So, I think this is Thor's level 3. Thor didn't have a level 3 in the old game. So, but I think it looks so cool. Final blow, and then it does... It doesn't look like it does too much damage. It does like 20% maybe. But I think it looks so cool. And I'm really glad Thor has level 3. Because I feel like it was odd that he didn't have one before. He just had 3 level 1 supers. Laser, yeah, we saw him do that before. Chun-Li has a spinning bird kick that has the follow-up with that kick, and then she's able to do this new super where she does that dragon kick. So that's cool. That looks pretty cool. I'm a fan. Laser. Okay, here's the first time I actually see Hawkeye hit laser, and he's able to combo off of it. So he does laser, he does triple arrow, then he does stand H, pointed upward. No, he does piercing blow, piercing arrow. Hold on, let's look at that again. So he hits him with a normal, combos into laser. He does H pointed upwards into piercing arrow into gimlet. And then he DHCs into gimlet. Or no, he tags into gimlet. He doesn't DHC because he tags into Chris. But he does, so you can do a super and then tag. Um, I don't know what the limitations are for tagging. I feel like that would be there'd be some sort of cost, but it doesn't look like it costs any meter if you watch the video. He still has the same amount of meter. I feel like that's kind of broken. You know, maybe it's like once per combo you can tag. I don't know. It's too hard to say. He has the grenade. Same thing. He's like, suck on this. 1, 2, 3. 2. And then it combos into that. But we don't get to see the animation because that's when the video ends. So, yeah. And that is all 5 minutes of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite gameplay footage. um, I hope you guys liked my little analysis. I know some of the stuff I said was just kind of just obvious repeating stuff of what's on the screen, but I hope maybe you learned something, maybe saw something from a new perspective. I'll probably post something whenever the next gameplay trailer is released. If you looked on Twitter here, check this out, Twitter. They posted on Twitter earlier today that later this week there'll be a gameplay trailer for the game. And hopefully it's not just this same footage. I mean, hopefully it's there. Hopefully we get some new footage in here. Um, that hopefully we get some new footage that I can talk about, that we can analyze, that teaches us more about the game because we barely still know shit. There's so much more to know, and there were only 3 Infinity Stones in this video, and there's 3 more. We haven't even seen. We haven't seen the Reality Gem, the Soul Gem, or the I don't know what the other one is. I'm sorry. So yeah. Uh, so I guess this is it. I'm gonna be signing off. Please hit that follow button. Follow me on Twitter. It's right below. It's down there at EastSifeIN. Um, I'll be doing more of these videos as gameplay is released, and I'll be posting them on my YouTube. I think there's a link to my YouTube down below the Twitch video, so I need to put that on the actual presentation. I'll do that later. Okay. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. Thank you Maniac Mega Man for posting in chat, giving me some insight. Um, Hopefully we bounced ideas off each other. Yeah. Looks like you said you're gonna give the game a chance, which is awesome because I think this game is gonna be really fun, and I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be really cool for the fighting game community because when Marvel 3 was like popular, when it was Street Fighter 4 and Marvel 3 were the big 2 games that everyone was playing, it was just fun. There was just always tournaments. It wasn't esports like it is now, but it was just so much fun to watch. So much fun to watch the gameplay and the meta develop and all the pro players and like see what they have to say. um, Obviously, IFC Yipes, he really made the game fun to watch, fun to be a spectator, fun to be a amateur player of. Um, and yeah, hopefully I'll see you all again later. So, yep, peace.